Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 1411, written by WeirdAiden, The Incredible Dragon Sighting at School. Once, in year 5, I was out with my class for PE class, and I just looked up at the clouds while the teacher was talking because I didn't care. I knew what to do. It was a cloudy day, and I like clouds, so I just watched them float by, when suddenly, I saw a wing, like a dragon wing, just a huge white one, just flap, then disappear. I thought I was going insane. I didn't mention it to anyone, but it's vivid in my memory. Another occasion. This happened around 3 times. Year 5 and at school too. I was just chilling with my 2 friends when a huge shadow just covered the whole school for a second. There was no reaction from anyone else apart from me and my friends. We kept it between us for some reason. Once, I was just chilling in my old apartment. I was like 6 or 7, I think. And the windows in that apartment were like 4 or 4.5 feet tall, and a big, and I mean big, white thing just flew past it, covering the whole freaking window. I was a stupid and imaginative kid. Unicorns, dragons, fairies kind, and my dad is pretty spiritual. It can get annoying at times. So I looked at him. He looked at me with a smile, and I waited 3 seconds before I ran to the window to see what the hell it was. What kind of idiot was I? I got a lot of stories. Once I was passing the kitchen door to go to the bathroom, and I just saw a shadowy black fox with small black angel wings for a second. I didn't see any details, but I knew it was a fox. I tried to run to see what it was, but it just disappeared. Another time, I was sneaking into the living room at 1 a.m. out of boredom, and I saw a white bulldog. It didn't have any details, just a white silhouette. And yet another time, I walked into the living room at night and saw a gray silhouette wolf looking out of the balcony door at the trees before turning its head to me and disappearing. I was 9 the whole time with these 3. Throughout year 5, I kept seeing shadows that didn't make sense, like just black spots around the place. When I was in my classroom and looked out the windows, boom, shadow out on the playground. When I was in the assembly hall, boom, shadow in the tree. When I was outside, boom, shadow hiding around. I never actually got scared though, never once. One time I was in my room before going to sleep and shadows of people holding hands and running just flew across my walls. I didn't really care or feel threatened or scared in any way. I don't understand why though. Most of these stories happened when I was younger, and they're all so weird now I look back. One time I was asleep and had a bunk bed. I slept on the top bunk, and I have no idea how because I had rails. I had fallen off. I was completely fine though because I fell on a big stuffed bear, or so my parents told me. I don't understand though. I had rails and the bear wasn't even there when I went to sleep. As a kid, I thought toys had a consciousness. I still kind of do, and I always feel bad for somehow hurting my plushies. Do not ask. So my parents said that he saved me that day. To this day, I have no clue on how I fell off and how I ended up on the bear. I have more stories, but these are the main ones, also the only ones I can remember at the moment. So enjoy my weird experiences. Case notes file 1411. The Incredible Dragon Sighting at School. The commonality in the first few events is seeing white. White is reflecting all color, almost all light, and silver being very similar. So it's reflecting all that information back to you. I think your subconscious was at play in these events, trying to indicate to you a connection or maybe even being stalked by some entity. On wings, probably not, but imperceptible to most people. So your mind was just trying to process what it knew was there, but didn't have direct stimuli for. And maybe your subconscious was trying to get you to look more closely. But this is definitely a jumble of events that is not entirely discernible with what we have. Bonus file written by LadyLunaRavens. When the other side knocks at your door. So, a little backstory. I used to live in a house that backed a cemetery. It was nice, lots of nature, and was quiet. At this point, I'd been living there for 3 years and nothing weird had ever happened. One night, while I was making dinner, I heard knocking at my back door. I freeze as no one should be in the backyard. I carefully walked towards the door, pausing halfway there. the knocking turns into someone slamming their hand against the door. I pick up my fencing EP and walk towards the door. I pull the curtains back to reveal no one. I open the door and I look around and no one is out there. I look down to see mud on the concrete. I try to brush it off when I hear water running in my bathroom. I hold my sword in front of me and walk towards my bathroom. Again, no one, but the sink is on. I turn it off before searching the whole house and find nothing. I don't think much of it and I eat my dinner and then watch some TV. Again, I hear knocking, this time at my front door. I open it up and it's my neighbor. He looked mad and demanded to know what kind of joke I was playing. Confused as hell, I ask him what he means. He said his son saw a woman climbing over the shared part of our fence and he assumed it was me. I told him about the knocking and my sink being on, and he tells me if I try anything again, he will call the cops on me. I decided then that I should be done for the night. Around 1 a.m., I hear someone pounding on the back door, and this time a female voice, "Help! My husband is trying to kill me!" I immediately run and throw open the door again to no one. I search around my yard and find nothing. I tried to go back to bed, but I couldn't. That morning, I went to have breakfast in my backyard when I heard someone in the cemetery talking about how he was caught and will be charged. Curious, I walked into the cemetery and saw a fresh grave. I looked at the temporary name card and Googled the name. Turns out, buried behind my yard was a woman who was murdered by her husband. I stand there, staring at the mound of dirt, wondering why she did all that. I went back to my house, and nothing ever happened again. I still think about that night. Case notes for the bonus file. When the other side knocks at your door. I would be the same way. If I was in her shoes, murdered by someone I love, the repeating echo loop I would experience as a spirit would be desperately to try to reveal that information to whoever I could. Nothing else would matter. Not even vengeance exactly. It's more of a cosmic justice. You want that person to be outed as for what they did to you. I think that's the most important thing. When there's an injustice done to you, to seek retribution against the person that did it to you can be satisfying. But I think more than anything else, you just want to be known, to be believed, for the world to know what actually happened, for the world to know the truth. That would be a desperate urge indeed. And now time for the quote of the day. Ultimately, we all have to decide for ourselves what constitutes as failure, but the world is quite eager to give you a set of criteria if you let it. J.K. Rowling. Yes, that's very true. The world wants to define what success is, and these days if you go on social media, you'll find that the measure of success has inflated as much as the currency itself. Now, if you're just an average person making $50K, working a blue-collar job, you're nothing. You should be ashamed of yourself in the minds of a lot of people online. And I just find that absolutely insane. These people are, the blue-collar workers are what make the world go round. They fix your toilet, they build your house, they do everything you need done that is real and material in the world. And people don't respect them anymore because they don't make as much as influencers online. And it's funny, speaking as an influencer, I run a YouTube channel and all that, but I don't feel disconnected from my past. I was cleaning offices for a long time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's an important service. Maybe when they automate it, when they have robots that do everything, okay. But in that case, it'll be a different world entirely. Until then, we still need hundreds of millions of people that do actual work with their hands. And we should celebrate that. What is your definition of success? Is it material, monetary, career-wise, or maybe how many close friends and how close you are with family that define success? Everyone has a different standard, and none of them are right or wrong. They just have to be true to you. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.